Yeah, g'day everybody. Lovely to be with you. St George, Illawarra. It's the battle really of the Steel Cities this afternoon at 3 o'clock. St George, Illawarra and Newcastle at beautiful Wynn Stadium in perfect rugby league conditions. Gentlemen, lovely to have your company here midway through round 10, heading into, State of Origin in a couple of weeks. Those sides will be selected after next week, which of course is Magic Round. You've got your bags packed, you ready to go?
Yes, I do.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I can't wait.
Yeah.
We'll be up there. Probably in a pub, not watching too much footy early in the week, but then by Sunday I'll have to sit down and watch a bit of rugby league.
Early in the week, when you actually go?
Well, early in the week for me is Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's it. But I'm looking for. I love Magic Round. I think it's great, and no doubt we'll hear it when we're up there. Should Magic Round be moved? And the answer to that is no. Definitely not. Weather is up there. It's perfect. Caxton Street's a great location. Suncorp's a great stadium. Just leave it.
Done.
Can you explain why Thursday for you is early in the week? Because for 99% of the normal population, that's late in the week.
Yeah.
Well, it's early in the consumption of beverages, if you know what I mean. So it's early in the week for that for me. Yeah.
Right.
We'll stay early
Where's
anyway.
today sit then?
Today started yesterday.
Danny
It's
Weidler.
Saturday.
How you going, buddy?
I'm not doing Magic Round.
Oh, why not?
Well, I do Vegas,
Yeah.
which is a lot of fun. It's a lot of work. Then I'm in Origin camp for about 30 days coming up pretty soon with the Blues. So it's a fair whack of time away from family. So you've got to make some choices.
Yep.
So no Magic Round for me, but it looks like fun. It looks like I did the first one, and it was great, and I haven't been since.
Just been a picture of you out in the Caxton, just banned from then.
Probably wanted.
Yes, exactly.
Wanted.
Exactly. I just wanted a quick shout out to my dog Frank, who got into some of the Easter eggs apparently weren't hidden well enough.
Oh, no, Tone.
So as of this morning, Frank had found them in a cupboard, as it turned out somewhere. If you ever wonder about the existence of God, surely this tells you that he doesn't exist. Why would God decide at one point, you know what, I think I'll make chocolate poison for dogs? I mean, what kind of person does that?
Yeah, narcissists.
Narcissists.
I thought dogs were smarter.
Did
You know,
you really?
do you know what I mean? You know, why we don't eat things we know are bad for us. Dogs
we do
will
that
just
all the
What are you
time.
talking about? You just finished 3 donuts.
Tony. That was a gift, that donut. And it had to be eaten.
All right, there's plenty of great rugby league to talk about, and there's plenty of interesting decisions to talk about. Let's just kick off with the Rob Toia try, he says it with inverted commas. I'll just play you because many people obviously get a little bit upset when a decision goes wrong, especially when it's the bunker, when they've had the time, plenty of technology to have a look at it and still come up with what seems to be, for anybody watching it independently, a wrong call. Luke Keary certainly wasn't happy.
This guy's clearly knocked the ball on. That is insane.
What has happened to the regroup rule? If you lose control of the ball, you need to regroup it again.
I'm not
Fair
usually
dinkum.
critical of these refs, but that is
You've won 2 comps
one
to the
of
Roosters
the
and you said it was no try.
the worst decisions I've ever seen.
One of the worst decisions he's ever seen. What did you make of it?
Well, no try.
Yeah.
That was obvious. I think what summed it up for me, I was sitting on the couch watching the game with my 6-year-old and my 8-year-old, and even they knew it was no try. And I was like, well, why was it given a try? And I was trying to explain to them, well, sometimes the referee just got to live with the call, but that was clearly a no try. And what bemused me even more was about 5 minutes later when Daniel Tupou goes up, bats the ball back to James Tedesco, goes up to the bunker for obstruction.
Yeah.
But he used his common sense there, and Tupou landed where he landed. He couldn't move anywhere else. May have interfered a little bit, but that was just unlucky. Not an obstruction. Try to James Tedesco. Used all his common sense there to award that try, which should have been a try.
Yep.
And before, he just missed one that was plain as day, no try. Adam G, I think, was in the bunker. He's an experienced referee. He's better than that, and he got that one wrong, and he has to be better than that.
Yeah, what was obviously it was ruled a try, but what was their explanation for it? I was watching it on KO on my phone.
Actually, before we get into this,
I was
were you banished into the garage?
No, it looked like I was. I was at Port
Yeah.
Macquarie, so it just
Okay.
just sold out arenas up there doing talks with Fletch, that sort of stuff. But we
Right.
were watching it on KO, and even on the phone, we could see that it was
Knock on.
and it was an easy knock on. That angle, there was one angle which they probably didn't use enough of, where you could actually see it come away from his wrist.
Yeah.
And you knew it was, but I know the referee awarded try, but they go upstairs and they look at it and they look at it. And
They
look
took
at it,
about
and,
5 minutes.
And we've
to
all
look at
said
it.
in here already that it was no try. I don't understand how they get that. I get the knock-ons on the field. Referees will miss, or they'll miss little ones here and there. But when it goes upstairs and they've got all the technology and they still get it wrong, that's the disappointing bit. I thought it took a bit of air out of the Titans as well.
Yeah.
I know it was that because the Titans weren't playing too bad, but it crushed them a little bit.
Well, I thought Josh Hannay, when he spoke in his press conference, answered it well. Like, clearly he was looking at the same video that we all were looking at.
Do you want to have a listen to that? I think we have that. Josh Hannay, the coach, and he's on that decision.
Listen, we've already had some officials come and tell us that it was the wrong call. So I don't know how, you look at it, you slow it down. I was looking at the same picture. So I don't know how I just don't know how you get that wrong.
Interesting that Josh would get an immediate feedback on that try. First of all, I thought it was no try. I watched it and I fell off the couch when they gave it a try. You couldn't give that a try, could you?
No.
I could understand in the run of play
Yes.
when it's happening fast. No worries.
Because when we first went, try.
Yeah.
That's good enough. Yeah,
They give no tries when there's just a hint of a fingertip sometimes. Yet that one, where it's clear, they go, yep, away you go.
In the run of play, I actually thought he might have bobbled it as he was going to score. And then when you saw it, there wasn't a try. And so the Hannay comments are interesting because he's basically saying that someone's told him that it wasn't a try. I asked the NRL about that this morning. They're not as convinced that somebody has given him the right information. I don't think they've reached a verdict on whether it was a try or not. They're still looking at it, apparently.
Come on, man.
That's
a part of the problem.
They're just saying that maybe it was miscommunicated to Hannay that it wasn't a try at the ground, obviously. So they're still looking at it. I think when they eventually give us the verdict on it, maybe on Monday, hopefully before, it'll be viewed as a no try. But that's not their words, that's mine. So they're taking a step back from the fact that somebody's actually said to Hannay, they may have said that, but the authority to say that may not have been there.
Are they better off to admit they're wrong or just be
Well,
quiet?
they often do.
Or just be quiet and just say nothing.
Just avoiding the problem.
That's what I mean.
It
If we don't say anything, like the Royals, if they don't say anything,
Yes.
there's nothing else to come back with.
Well, Graham Annesley's like rugby league royalty, and he used to do the media conference every Monday and say how wrong things were.
Yeah.
Bring him back. Bring Graham back.
But what's the solution there? Because as we said, the technology you can't blame. That is an absolute simple case of human error, isn't
That's
it?
human error. And again, Adam G's experience.
Yeah.
So there's, I think, hear from probably Graham. We won't hear from Adam G on the decision, but he'll know that he got that wrong. And as Andy said, there's so much time on the clock. There's no guarantee that the Titans go on and win the game. There's still plenty of footy to be played, but when you save a try, they could get a bounce in their step. The way the game is, they could control the ball with momentum for the next 10 minutes. They were playing decent in the first half. Who's to say they don't find themselves another try? And then after that, Roosters basically dominated the next period. And Tupou's try where he went up and batted it back to Tedesco, that happened 5 minutes later.
Yeah.
So
that was good judgment, though. I think
100%.
That had a feel for the game. So let's give them some credit for that.
We're
standing here bagging them.
But don't you think that makes the first decision worse?
It's so frustrating.
Yeah,
it's so frustrating.
You get one that you could easily see by the letter of the law, he could give that no try, that Tedesco one, because of Tupou and where he landed. But it's rugby league.
Common sense.
He went up there, competed. He ended up in that spot. He can't disappear. Common sense. 100%. They get that one right.
Yeah.
It just makes the first one look even worse.
It makes the first one inexplicable. Yeah. I don't get it. I don't understand it.
The other weird one, and we'll get to all these games in greater detail later in the show, obviously, but the other one that was just weird to me was the golden point, the Cowboys and the Eels. Mitch Moses kicks the field goal. So they've won for all intents and purposes. That's game over, I would have thought. Yet he then there's a charge on his leg. Scott does that. So he goes through and he gets a penalty. Now he's told he has to take a shot at goal. The question is, and I'm just extrapolating here, it may be, way out 1,000 to 1, I don't care. He could kick that goal, hit the side of an upright, go over, and a Cowboys player picks it up, runs the length of the field, scores a try. So would they then win that game with the second scoring action in a golden point.
Do you want some facts?
Yes,
Yes,
please.
please, yes.
I don't usually deal with
No,
them, but yes.
got his
I've heard
class.
that's not the way this show goes. No, I've got to
No,
read
you're
off my
allowed
phone.
you're allowed to retract statements.
Yeah.
That could possibly be wrong.
What about
Yeah.
can we alter facts?
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Well, you can't alter them.
Or just
You
change.
can just say something if you don't know what you're talking about. Just make something up and then retract it.
Was I
So-
talking bull? Is that what you're saying?
Some of those suits at the NRL who are quivering in their dark corners this morning after the decisions, they sent me a note
Okay.
saying, read the penalty goal. Here's some background. The international laws of the game require the penalty to be taken, given there had been an act of foul play. If the game ended with a field goal, it would have meant an act of foul play on the field would have gone unpunished. If the kick had missed or hit the post, the game would have ended. So the Cowboys could not have run the length of the field and scored.
All right. Well, that's good.
But
Good to hear.
also, if they don't make him take the penalty, the game also would have ended.
Yeah, but that's obviously the rules are saying you have to do that.
But he put him on report, right?
don't
So
have
if
to take
Moses was injured, like what?
Oh, well, was he?
Well,
Well, that's another thing.
Your
to
boy
think about.
He did do a fancy leap in the air and land on his ass.
Watching too much Premier League.
It was. Well, Danny, look, I'm really pleased that you'd come through with the truth. But another part of me hates that. It's
Yeah,
like how
yes.
Google has
Now we've
ruined
just-
the pub argument. You used to say who started in such and such, and you get 4 hours of arguing about it. Now somebody just goes to their phone. You've just gone.
I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry.
Well, it's improved their for and against out
That's
of sight.
true.
So that could be the difference between scraping into that 2 points.
Yes.
You laugh at me now, but you watch this space.
And when it comes to
They
Google,
might scrape into eighth by
That's
2
true.
points.
That's
By
very
two.
true.
I missed a goal. We flogged the Sharks 74-4. Okay, quick story here.
Yep.
All of a sudden, near the end, I've ended up with the footy on the sideline. Yeah, I'll kick it. No big deal. Missed it. Blowing a gale it was. Wind was coming in
always
sideways.
does,
yeah.
And I only just missed it. Just scraped the upright. The next day, got roasted by the coach. Mate, for and against. What were you doing? Who gave you the such and such ball? All that sort of stuff. Absolutely got torn apart, the whole team. Because I went for a goal. 74-4.
Who was coaching you at that sort of point?
It was my
Smith?
early days. Yes. Yes. That was his thought process.
Yeah.
What if, that
text
2 points.
message
that-
roasting, was it? Text
No, I
messages
never got
or-
a text
Oh.
message off Smithy. No,
Okay.
no.
oh, so we got to the bottom of who the coach was.
yeah. Never got a text message. When you're a starter, you didn't get text messages.
And Google has ruined things. You're right.
Yeah.
Like I was arguing with my many years ago with my 10-year-old son, and he just said to me, "Dad, you're not smarter than the internet," and that just beat me. I had no reply.
comeback.
They just Googled it, and I was wrong.
No comeback.
It's terrible.
But can the internet send you to a room? See? Go.
Who'd you tip in that game, Heine?
Let me think. I'm just trying to think.
think
It's a
the-
couple of days ago since I did tipping.
Eels, Cowboys.
No, I took the Cows. Took the Cowboys. Yeah.
Ah.
And I feel bad because as soon as I said it on Thursday on the rush hour, because we do our tips then, and I went, you know what? I'll go the Cows. I'll go the Cowboys. And I went, oh, you idiot. You idiot.
But
Back your team.
Do you usually do that? Just tip with the heart, though.
I usually just tip with the heart. And then I thought, no, what?
Recipe for
I've got to
disaster.
start tipping with my head.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that didn't work, so I'm going to go back to the heart.
Tip with your ass.
Because you'll always tip the Sharks, won't you?
Always.
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 What's the point of being in a
Can
tipping
I ask,
competition?
is that
I'm not in a tipping competition. I just sit here on the radio and give my opinion. But everyone should know with my opinion about the Sharks and tipping, it comes from the heart. I think we can win every game.
So you'd never tip against the
Never tip against the Sharks, ever.
Is it a case of fan backlash?
No. Like, even to this day, I
Even if
still
you
won't tip
honestly-
against Penrith
You
as my
honestly,
second team.
You honestly believe they'll win every game?
I don't honestly believe they'll win every game, but when I look at each individual game on its own, I think they can win if they play their best. I don't even tip against Penrith, and I played for them 15 years ago.
What about Woodsy? There's no team you can't pick against.
But because I grew up there supporting Penrith,
They're your
I
second
won't.
team.
I won't tip against Penrith.
Really?
Do you want any news from? You mentioned Mitchell Moses. I did check on that as well.
Okay.
Because as a Blues person, like Blues supporter, I was worried when I saw.
Huge.
Apparently, I spoke to Mitch by text last night. He said he's okay, and I just double checked with Jason Riles a few minutes ago. He says Mitchell Moses is fine with his foot. I guess the other worry for Queensland is
Tommy
Dearden.
Dearden, yeah.
So he's getting some scans apparently. So that he was limping around a lot, wasn't he? Like
He looked ginger moving.
And we just saw Mark Nwanganita-Wase, what he's got 6 weeks of syndesmosis. Like, let's hope Tommy Dearden's okay, but it didn't look great for him.
Was there anything, Josh Adokar, any follow-up on that? Do we know as yet? Because he didn't. There was no reporting on the field.
Nor should he.
Yes, I agree with Ronnie on that.
Boys, they do have some charges and stuff too if you're interested.
Absolutely.
Sorry, I've got to put the glasses back on.
That's all right. Just on the Adokar chase back, and it was unfortunate that Dearden's legs got caught up, but you cannot eliminate the risk, like the injuries in our game. Like they're chasing from behind, they're desperate. He's almost going to score a try. They jump and dive from the back of him to pull him down. Unfortunately, there's going to be injuries in our game. It's a physical contact sport. It's a collision sport.
Yep.
So
that's
right decision. Yeah. It's just unfortunate that an injury possibly came of it.
The hip drop rule has to be rejigged, I think.
Like the re-grip the ball, scoring a try.
It has to be. It's too much. There's too much of it in our game, and it's not on purpose. Like the hip drop, I think needs to be going. If you can tell it's been done on purpose, I know it's going to be very difficult. It's going to be very difficult. I get that, but this tackle has been in our game for over 100 years. Like, has it?
Yeah.
Well, it has. It has to be.
What did we call it when you played?
Well, we didn't call it anything because it was tackling someone.
A classic tackle.
It was tackling someone because you get those, and particularly a smaller man or a bigger man. It happens and depends. And look, I just think it's to be penalised or suspended for a tackle like that. I don't
but
like
the
it.
injuries are significant, so surely something you can understand why they're trying to do something.
Yeah, this is this is a contact sport. What are we going to have to do? So that means you can't, unless it's a front-on tackle, below the shoulders, in front. You can't even hold on and move around the back of someone now because you're every chance of falling on the back of someone's legs by mistake.
Yeah,
like it's just I don't get it. It's going to be way too hard. There's going to be blokes getting banished from our game for weeks for things you just can't avoid. I get the shoulder charge. I get that. That took me a while to get used to that as well.
Did you like when was it Ponga last week was too much force in the tackle?
See what is that?
I'm asking you. You're the former player.
But I don't get that either. When I heard the referee say, "Oh, mate, too much force," I went,
"What's happening?
What is this? What is this?" Yes, I believe in player safety, but okay. Take a deep breath, Nathan.
Take a deep breath.
I'm going to walk away for a second.
Yeah, maybe we'll go to a little break and give you a chance to recover because we'll come back and we'll look in the game a bit more detail. The Roosters 28 over the Titans 12. It's the Saturday Scrum, all thanks to Thirsty Camel. Back in Hindmarsh, Weidler Tony Squires and Danny Weidler with you. Before we get into this Roosters Titans game, Danny, what's going on in terms of the charge sheet?
Okay, from the game, guess who's on top of the charge sheet from the Roosters? Who would it be? Which player?
Victor.
Yes. Victor. Okay, Victor Radley. Roosters, the 9th minute incident, high tackle careless, grade 2, early plea 1 match, guilty at panel 2 matches. So it looks like he's facing a week.
He's constantly on report, isn't he? Well, let's face it. He got very, very lucky last week, didn't he? Very lucky.
You just have to make some adjustments to yourself. Oh,
yeah, he's scrubbing his name.
Mo Fotuaika, he's got a dangerous contact charge, grade 1. However, it's his 3rd offence or more, 2 matches with a guilty at the panel as well. So it's otherwise it's a grade 1 charge.
Okay.
Scott Drinkwater, I don't remember this one. With dangerous contact.
That would be on Mitch Moses, I'd imagine, running through his leg.
Yeah, okay, yep. Oh, yeah. It's an early plea, $1,000, so guilty at the panel, $1,500. So it is a Mitch Moses one. So not too much there for Drinkwater.
Right, okay.
But Victor, top of the charts.
Unsurprising.
The inflictor's back.
Yeah.
Is he? So you have him in your Origin team?
I'd have him definitely in the conversation, just because
in or not.
He would be on my bench. It's a hard one now with him not playing next week, but I just think there's a lot of good options out there. A lot of guys putting their hands up. Obviously, there's some injuries, and they're going to have to make a few changes, and you got to focus on the players that you are available to you. And I just think with someone like Victor, he's experienced. He's played in a lot of big games. The way that the Roosters play, and he's always played, they move fast in defence. He's used to that high frequency in attack, like that style that they play, and I think he would handle that arena. In fact, I think him being in an arena like that will bring out the best in Victor.
He seems like an Origin player.
Yeah, and if we go back to 2021, maybe 2022, if he didn't get suspended again this year, he probably would have played Origin back then. And if he'd had got an opportunity back then when he was younger, I'm sure he would have taken it with both hands. He'd probably be established and a regular in that
I
arena.
remember him he was part of the squad when they were in Perth, I seem to remember. I remember interviewing him over there, but then he decided to go do the England thing. So
Yeah. Wait, I think we'll get you to give us your full New South Wales Blues side at 2:00 on with Josh Reynolds.
Full
I know
team.
you guys.
I've never picked the full team. I've only got the forwards and the bench.
I'll,
But I can go
I'll
through
be,
Grubby's
I'll be
picks.
totally led by you.
Okay.
Please don't ask me for my side because I don't know who is eligible.
Really? I love it.
No, really.
just pick your own team. As long as you're getting from New South Wales.
Well, that's the thing. I don't know where they're from.
You had a bit of trouble, I understand, in a barbecue setting. What was going on?
This morning, I wouldn't say trouble, but I was just up and about and on my toes earlier. I was put under the pump. So, local junior footy. Took my young bloke down. He played this morning at 9:30, but everyone's got to chip in. Parents of every team, a bit of time in the canteen, and it was my turn to man the barbecue.
Love it.
Except the barbecue etiquette, the transition wasn't exactly smooth. So the people who were before me, they didn't have much traffic because there was a game of footy on. But I took over as a game was finishing. And there was like 2 eggs cooked, a couple of rashers of bacon, no sausages, and of course the rush comes after that. Like, you've got to anticipate the game finishing and prepare.
Yeah.
Were they new parents? Do you
I
know?
don't-
Because the rule is you stockpile your food. You don't make to order, do
No,
you?
no,
not at
not
a
a
footy
footy
canteen.
Sausage. You can't cook the sausage too quickly, so it just burn on the outside and just raw in the middle. No
Should be
good at all.
stockpiled or in the bayonet. Not the bayonet.
100%.
Bayonet's
How many
something you
people
stab
we
someone.
Bain Marie.
Bain bayonet.
How many
It's just-
people weigh? Like a
Since
lot
I
of people.
said that, I went,
Uh,
that's a stabby.
Yeah, well, it was down in Cronulla Carrying Bar, so we probably would have had 30 or 40 orders in the 40 minutes that I was there. And again, it's not like a small little barbecue. They've got the big one where you can just get everything on, get it going, and the transition would have been a lot smoother. So I think everyone knows there's a little bit of etiquette with the barbecue just to make that transition easier. But you had to pick up the slack today.
Well done, you. Where did you come from last night? Port
Was it
Macquarie?
Port Macquarie, yeah.
Okay.
Early flight this morning. No,
No, I can
this is,
tell.
in all seriousness, I had 4 beers last night. That is all I had. Flight out there at 6:30 this morning. Went from the airport, watched the young bloke play footy under 10s, and then back in here. Yeah, a little bit slow.
Cranky or not? Like last time I saw you were cranky.
not as aggressive, Danny, but yeah, the fuse is probably a little shorter than what it.
I enjoy
I'm
when
like
you're
a,
cranky.
I'm like a child. If I don't get enough sleep, you know, when they flip out, get the shits, and yeah, that could be me.
Little tantrum.
How much
Yes.
sleep do you need, Hindy?
Me, look, I can run on probably 9.
9 hours?
No, I'm joking. No. More than 5. I need more than 5, and I got 4 last night. Because by the time I finished watching Clash of the Titans, it was past midnight.
Speaking of the Titans, the Roosters 28, the Titans 12. Gosford has become a pretty good place for them to, although the crowd wasn't so great there last night, but I think it's like 7 or 8 in a row they've won. And looked pretty good again.
Yeah, they probably, if anything, they probably took the Titans a little bit lightly early.
Yeah.
You kind of see that in the way they played. They thought they'd just go out and roll through some sets and score some points, and the Titans would fold. But credit to the Titans, they hung in there. The Roosters didn't score their first points till the 30-minute mark. So
In controversial
yes, but then they scored again in the 35th or 36th minute. But yeah, look, I didn't mind the fact that they had to earn their points, which they kind of have for the last few weeks anyway. I think when they played the Knights and they were behind against the Knights early, took them to the second half to get it. They're just not quite. They're improving, I think, the Chooks, but they're not quite there. I think there's a lot of improvement left in them. Their halves are still working themselves out. At the moment, it seems that Walker seems to be taking the key role as what I'm watching, but their forwards are outstanding, but they're just a little bit off. There's a little bit of tweaking to be done for the Chooks, I think.
Yeah, I agree with you, Hondo. I think there's still a lot of improvement left in the Roosters. And in saying that, they haven't lost a game since round 3. So it's really positive signs that they've been able to grind this little period out when they're not at their best. They're still working out that combination with Cherry Evans and Walker and Tedesco. Robson's missed a lot of footy to start this season, so there's a lot of upside still to come with the Roosters. I don't think they've played a full 80 yet.
That's what I was about to say.
Even
yeah.
the week before against the Broncos, maybe against your Dragonstone, but
That's true.
that was a tough circumstance for the opposition. But I think Yeah, a lot of improvement. I'd love to hear. I know we got some audio of Robbo. We're going to listen to him soon. But I need to give a little bit of credit to the Titans. I thought they started the game really well. I love the look of young Zane Harrison.
Yeah,
he on debut was impressed with him.
Good defensively too.
Strong on Angus Crichton a couple of times.
Yeah.
There was a one-on-one tackle on the try line where he got up and under Angus Crichton and stopped him. And not many halfbacks can do that. So, promising start for him. I love Jaden Campbell in the six. Their outside back Jensen, he debuted as well out there on the wing. It was good to see him get his start. I spent a lot of time with him at Cronulla. It's been a long journey for him, and he's persevered and persevered. He was stacking shelves at Woolies only a few months back. So good on him.
That's great.
Persevering, getting his debut. I saw the video of Ronnie Mulatalo actually presenting his jersey and had the whole room in tears. So
I love it.
Listen, a loss for them, but some okay signs in that game and something to build off. But the Roosters, they're starting to look scary for the competition.
Where they're looking good is Reece Robson.
Yeah.
I underestimated what a difference he'd make to that team. The way that he's enjoying the new game clearly because he's getting time to run, and his running game through the middle and the raids they go with Tedesco, him, Walker, Cherry Evans, Nafar, that middle, the way they're working it, they're doing that almost better than any other team. In the back of my mind, I've still got the way that Penrith trounced them a few weeks back. That was a concerning loss for them, but I think their defence has really lifted since that time. And they're doing it without like Mark Nawanganitawase, Lindsay Collins as well. There's an interesting story around the Roosters as well at the moment with Spencer Leniu. He hasn't been getting a lot of starting time or game time recently. He got a start last night. He's not at his best yet. There's been a lot of scuttlebutt around whether he's going to end up seeing out his contract at the Roosters or not. They're telling me at the moment, yes, he will. You never know if these things will change, but right now there will be interest in Spencer if things do change there. But they just want to. I think the only real issue that Spencer has had recently is he wants more game time.
Yeah.
And he got that last night. And, at his best, he's devastating.
Is he complaining about not getting much game time?
I think he wants more game time.
But I think we all want more game time if you're coming off the bench, but I hope he's not complaining about it.
I don't know if he's complaining,
okay,
but I think that's the only issue.
People
are talking about discontent but I think that right now, look, he might end up not seeing out the full term of his deal. I don't know. But right now, that's the issue.
If they decide to let him go, there'll be teams climbing over him.
I think Parramatta will want him.
I think there'll be more than Para, but
we're
quite happy. Your blue and gold can have him for sure. I'd love to see him in the blue and gold, Spencer.
The name was good. Siwa Wong was fantastic.
Siwa Wong. Yeah.
That ball after he broke
Bobby Toia
through.
as well.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
Just on Spencer, I'd be concerned if he didn't want more minutes.
That's right.
Like, he should be in the office. What can I do to get more minutes?
Yeah.
I need, and it's one of those things like because you want to go out there and perform, but if you're not getting the minutes, how do you show what you can do? And I think all players would want to play.
But as long as that's not a sulk that you're
as long
not
as it
getting more
doesn't
minutes.
go the other way and he starts talking out of the side of his mouth, which I don't think Spencer has that in him.
No.
If he's got a problem, he
He's
addresses it front on.
Yeah.
So
well, he's addressed that publicly with a few people in the past, and but the other issue is he's on about 800 a year.
Yeah.
So you've got to get value for you can't have a bloke playing 15 minutes a week. You've got to have him doing a lot more, and that's what's going to be the issue going forward.
Well, let's have a listen to Coach Trent Robinson, how he evaluates what's the season looking like so far for the Roosters.
I would say we're hungry. That's what I'd say. I'd say we've been really positive about the way we're going. I think the way I've spoken after games, but we're still hungry for more. That's what I would say. We were going into each game wanting better. I feel like we got, probably 60 to 70 minutes tonight, and we didn't get 80. And we'll walk in Monday and we want 80 minutes. That's where we're at.
If they do get 80 minutes, they'll be a tough team to roll.
That's the thing, and we know they've got an 80-minute game in them, and we know they're going to improve. So they're really going to be one of those top sides come the pointy end of the season. Because you look across the board who they've got there, like they're stacked with talent. They're stacked with talent. So
where do they sit, Hindy? Like you're saying, like we've got
at the start,
Penrith's here.
At the moment, Danny,
Warriors, Brisbane.
I think. Look, I've almost put them almost in front of the Warriors a little bit. Just on, I'm going on potential. Mm-hmm. I'm going on potential, not where they are, not where they are now. And experience, yes. So I've definitely got them just sitting. I've got them sitting behind Penrith.
Yep.
I liked them at the start of the year or the end of last year. What they're going to do this year, and I've tipped them to be the premiers for this year. But that was before we saw what Penrith did.
Yeah.
This was the start of the year.
Yeah.
But I think they've got a lot of improvement under their belt, and they've got some players who know how to play footy and can turn it on when they want to.
All right. Well, as Danny Weidler noted, Mark Nwanganitawazi wasn't there last night. The man who replaced him, Cody Ramsey, is a great story. He was there, and he joins us next on the Saturday Scrum. As a Dragons fan, it hurts to see it all happening in a Roosters jersey and Roosters colours, but gee, it makes me so happy to see Cody Ramsey running around again for the NRL. It's one of the true feel-good stories. The condition so debilitating, ulcerative colitis, but he is out the other side and doing great things and joins us right now. Congratulations on the win, Cody.
Hey, thank you. Thank you so much.
How does it feel, not just getting a win, but just the whole idea? I know you've spoken about it the past week, being back on board. What's it doing for you?
Yeah, no, look, it's obviously exciting. I had a good prep this week. I knew that I was going in and starting on the wing, so I got to prepare well. I got to train next to Bobby and Ches, so it was just a really good week. And then, yeah, got to get the win last night, so it was exciting.
Hey, Cody, Wade Graham here, mate. Congratulations on the win and your return to the NRL. Obviously, it's been a tough journey for you, a lot of ups and downs over the last couple of years. At the lowest point, was there any doubt that you'd make it back, or you were always firm in your mind that I'd get back to first grade?
Yeah, look, mate, honestly, most of the time when I was in hospital, it wasn't like I wasn't doing anything special, or mate, I was just getting through it. Like I hate like it, and then there's a lot of things that said how, I guess, how resilient or whatever. But mate, honestly, I just survived in there. Everyone else looked after me, and it was kind of outside when I finished up with the hospital is when it started to kick off for me. But mate, I 100% I had doubts. Like whether or not I'd be able to do anything because I had a stoma. So I wasn't even able to play football if I had the stoma. So it was a lot of uncertainty around what the next surgery looks like. So 100% there was doubts, but I mean it was kind of what I did after the surgery, and then I never really looked back after that.
Cody, Nathan Hindmarsh, mate, just talk us through how serious this is for you, or how serious it was for you. Like you talk about, you were just in hospital, just staying alive, but do you actually genuinely mean that? Is this something that could have killed you?
I wouldn't say it would. My mum and that said that I was fairly close, but look, obviously you go into surgery and there's a chance that you don't wake up from surgery. There's so many question marks, and then I had lots of complications where I had a leak in my bowel after I had everything closed up. So then you got sepsis, and if you get obviously sepsis in your bloodstream, then you can get put into induced coma. So then there's all them sorts of risks, and then there's the risks of just if you recover or if you won't. So I never really thought that my life was in jeopardy, but there's obviously times like when I got out of hospital and I was 62 kilos, I would just stand up and I'd fall over and smash there was multiple times where I'd wake up on the ground just from going to the toilet, and I just didn't have any energy. I had nothing.
Mate, I heard that when you had your bowel movement, all that sort of stuff, and I'm sorry if this is getting a bit too much, but there was more than multiple times you'd have to go to the bathroom a day, like multiple times.
Yeah, mate, when I first had the ileostomy pouch so they obviously cut out my whole large bowel and made my small bowel into my large bowel, and it's like a S-trap under a sink. That's pretty much how I explain it. It's gravity fed, and when I got it all connected, I'd never had food through it, so I had to reintroduce every food back into this new stomach, and that's from toast to milk to any type of food you think of, meat. So I was going like I'm not even joking, 30 times a day. Whoa. It was unlivable, and I couldn't believe. I remember thinking like I'll go back to the stoma if it's like this. That's obviously the bag, because I honestly thought it was unlivable until I went on these sites and I went and looked up a fair bit, and they said the first 6 months is just absolute torture, but it does start to get better, and then you manage it with the food you eat. So like you have like mashed potato or rice that seems to slow your stomach down, and you go to the toilet less. But if you have high sugar like lollies, or you have things with lots of sugar in it, then that will speed your stool up. And then you balance it out with the water you drink and the hydration, how much salt you have is how much your body will absorb the food that you're eating, because obviously the salt in your body is the salt that you produce is only in your large bowel. So I don't have that anymore. So if I don't have hydration, then there's no salt to actually grab onto the food that I'm eating. So yeah, I kind of just figured it out along the way, and I read into it a lot. And then I tested a lot of boundaries where I had them nights that were just horrible and it would mess my guts up. But I just knew from then on, and I just ticked that box off if I could have that food or I couldn't have that food.
Cody, Danny Weidler, I just want to say how proud everybody is of what you've done and where you've come from and where you are today. It's just a remarkable story that everybody's really behind you in the game, and what you're doing now is fantastic. And just the support you had from your partner. I know from speaking to you the other day how important that's been to you.
Yeah, no, thanks, Danny. Yeah, look, I would not be anywhere near I am today without her and without all my other family and the support that I had. My partner, we found out, I guess, when I was going into one of my biggest surgeries, that there's a high possibility I won't be able to have kids again. And she was obviously still, like, kids is above everything for us as a family and what. So we still decided she still wanted to have a kid with me, mate. And a week before my major operation, we found out that we were going to have Mia. And yeah, there was a lot of uncertainty, and then I went into the surgery, and I probably spent another 4 or 5 months in hospital after that. And she sat in one of them little chairs in the bed and didn't leave. Honestly, didn't leave. She'd go down and get me like some brekkie in the morning or a bit of toast, and didn't leave. And she just grew a belly inside until the point that the nurses are sending us cards when we got home and asking how Mia is, and just looked after me, and I guess packed up her career just so she could look after me. So yeah.
I know I spoke to your mum, Kim, and she said that you found somebody who loves you as much as she does. You know, a partner in that loves you as much as your mum do, which is just remarkable, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it is. She's done wonders, and so has mum and dad, and I guess all the family in both these great clubs. Yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned that's both these great clubs, because it's not just family. In fact, it is that larger family that is a footy club, and how important that is. And you've been surrounded by support. They're both from the Dragons and the Roosters.
Yeah, mate. I couldn't speak a bad word about the Dragons or the Roosters. They're obviously two different periods of my life that I went through with these clubs, and Dragons was a main part of getting me healthy and getting me right and getting me, like, there's so many question marks. I remember just training, and it was just, I felt like one of them test rats. Like, we didn't know what was going to happen, and I'd just go out there and I'd get smashed in the stomach, and I'd get up and I'd be fine, and then we'd tick that box, and that's pretty much how it went. It was just, can I do this? We'll test it. And then I was getting through it, and then obviously, mate, had to build up my fitness. I had to build up strength. So I guess when I come to the Roosters, I guess I had a pretty good base, but I had a long way to come. And the Roosters sat me down with a dietitian that specialises in abdominal surgeries, and she got me on this diet. And honestly, I don't know how I played last year without the new system that they got me here. I put on weight really fast, and then started feeling better. I was going to the toilet less and had more energy, and yeah, everything just started to kick off a little bit better.
Hey, Cody, I know obviously you're in the present, you're still living it and dealing with what you've had to go through over the last few years, but have you had any time to reflect and look back on the journey from, when it happened, what you had to go through, and now just a game gone by where you're starting on the wing for the Roosters, who won, 6 or 7 in a row?
Yeah, look, mate, honestly, I haven't. I try and bring myself back to the times, I guess, to stay grounded and whatnot, but I haven't. My dad and all that remind me of the journey that I've been on, but for some reason, when the week comes, I just focus on my job, and it's probably a good idea to go back and reflect and, I guess, think about, because, mate, it's been a long obviously a long journey, but at the same time, I'm just so happy that I'm past that period now, if that makes sense.
It's interesting. The Titans didn't go easy on you, did they? They put up plenty of kicks to you. They were really testing you out. Did you like that?
Yeah, no, mate, I loved it. Get me in the game early and just stick at it, and I feel like I've done that last night, so it was good.
Mate, you were out of the game for so long, obviously. Did you find last week when you came back in that you went, oh, geez, this is a lot harder than I remember? Did the game change that much while you're away?
I feel like there's more kick contests this time around. I guess everyone's competing for the ball. Everyone's down there. Everyone's running. It's really good because it's one of my favourite parts of the game, and just getting in there, getting the carries. I hadn't played on the wing for a fairly long time, so coming around and taking them yardage carries, I just wanted to get my job done.
Is the wing easy? I just thought or easier, I should say. Code, you know what I mean? Bloody wingers, yeah.
Oh, mate, honestly, I don't know. 18th man was easier.
And, of course, the big question, Rob Toia, try or not?
Yeah, give it to Bobby. He's a try. That's my centre, mate. He scored it.
Cody Ramsey, it's been inspirational just to listen to you. Thank you so much. Your story is amazing. May it continue.
Yeah, thank you so much for your time, guys.
There he is, Cody Ramsey.
Oh, what a champion.
What a champion.
What a champion.
And the great thing is when somebody has that kind of story and has the ability to tell it as well, and all that detail is so important.
Yeah, definitely. Because when it all happened, and you're reading reports on he was out of the game for so long, but when he described it then and what he went through, holy hell, how's he come back? How's he playing NRL after all that?
Well, it's hard enough. Sorry, Tone. It's hard enough as it is when you're 100% fit and healthy. For him to have to trial all his foods again, to work out his right diet, to keep and that's just to be healthy, let alone train at an elite level, get in the gym at an elite level to try and compete with everyone who's at 100%. What a champion.
The Eels 33, the Cowboys 30. Now, we talked about the Golden Point, and well, let's call it a fiasco, and it's been cleared up for us. But, Dan, the other thing from there was Dearden and his injury. Just remind people where that's at.
Waiting to get scan results. But it didn't look good, did it? He was really hobbling around there for a while. With Origin around the corner, that's a big injury or a big watch anyway to see what happened. And Mitchell Moses apparently okay from the Drinkwater tackle, so no worries there for New South Wales apparently. Okay,
so it was a big game for the Cowboys. Jason Taumalolo going past the record for the most number of games for that club. Special event, and he was huge, and he's been huge all year, to be honest, hasn't he? He's been sensational.
It's been a massive turnaround for him. What we saw the last couple of years from him. And look, when we say that, we're so used to seeing Taumalolo be a wrecking ball.
Yep.
He would demolish teams, he'd demolish players, his footwork, his late footwork, his speed, his power. Then all of a sudden, that obviously, with age, that tapers off a little bit. So there was a fair bit of pressure on him last year because of the expectations we've seen and how he used to play. But this year, I don't know what his off-season was like.
Well, I think he had surgery on both knees.
Is that what it is?
That's what it is. It was a clean out of his knees. And I think he's a big guy, right?
He is, yeah.
And he'd been struggling with that for some time. And not letting on. You guys play tough and you don't want to let people know what's going on with you, but I think that was a part of it.
Oh, I let everyone know what was going on.
You let it all hang out.
Chance of a day off. But is that what it is,
yeah,
Danny?
Apparently.
Because it has made a world of difference to his game.
Well, it would, wouldn't it?
You think so? Yeah, mate. But he's back to his best. And unfortunate because to break a record up there, to take Jonathan Thurston's position as the longest serving Cowboy up there, but in the front row or in the forwards,
middle.
Let's say middle. Yeah, it's an impressive stat. It's an impressive number, and unfortunately, they couldn't do him because you know what? The blue and gold were just too good in the end. Unfortunately, for the Cowboys fans,
despite you tipping the Cowboys.
Weird game.
Yeah. Well, firstly on Jace, what a career.
Yeah.
What a career. When he first came onto the scene, players sometimes take a while to get experience, take a while to make an impact. He didn't take any time at all. He was devastating at his best, could turn a game with his first stint, and even more impressively, his second stint back when he was at his best. He would just devastate teams. And for someone so big and so powerful to move the way he could with the speed, the sidestep, to win a Dally M in the middle of the field. What a tremendous player! And congratulations to Jason. Not the result that they wanted up there, but they've turned the corner. The Cowboys, they are going well, but a hell of an achievement. A hell of an achievement for a player who's led the way for such a big part of his career.
I think was he the first of the 10-year contracts as well?
I think he
that was a risk,
yeah.
wasn't it? Like, what do you think of that now that we've seen the majority of it?
Well,
I think they got their money's worth.
So do I. Yes, yeah. There was a couple of lean years, obviously, what we spoke about, but no, I think they definitely got their money's worth, and good luck to him. He's proven that it can be done. And in the middle, like, of course, there was going to be a little bit of chatter about he's a middleman. Will he last the distance? But I think he's playing some really good footy at the moment.
And let's not forget the influence he had for Tonga and at the international level, because he was, the first wave to
with Andrew Fafita,
to switch allegiance. It was Jace, it was Andrew, and it was Adam Fanua-Blake who went across. And I know Andrew was a part of that as well, but I think Jace was the leader because Andrew was picked in that Australian squad. Actually, he was meant to take me to the camp, but I
remember
he brushed me. But I don't think if Jason does it, I don't know if necessarily if the rest of the boys do it. He was the pioneer, and what an impact he had. We all remember the swell of support, how well Tonga played that year, and we've seen from that other guys like Crichton and Luai pledged to play for Samoa. So not only the influence and the career he had has had at North Queensland, but the impact he had at the international level too.
And more on what Hindy was saying about he looked like he was in trouble in his career sort of a couple of years ago. There was a really political story up at the Cowboys that I think that Todd Payten had been given the instruction by people above him to maybe move Jason to the bench and do that sort of thing because they weren't seeing what they liked and they maybe wanted to force him out. I don't know if it got to that point, but it caused a problem between Todd Payten, Jason, and some of the playing group as well. And they managed to ride through that to the point now where he's a key member. And they're playing some reasonable footy now. So and Jason's playing great footy.
Yeah, and it is those milestone games are obviously really important. Jonathan Thurston presented him with his jersey as well, so you can understand why Todd Payten was fairly peeved that the Cowboys let that.
Well, they lost the game, didn't they?
Yeah,
they had it. They had it there. They lost it when Samrani scored, and then all of a sudden
3 minutes to go.
Three or 4 minutes to go, and you go, nah, surely the Cowboys got it here, and then. Smart play by Mitch Moses. Short side, found Clifford on the wing, and you kind of think you watch it. You go, Clifford he had to trust his inside man. Just stay out. He's Moses forced him in, put Samrani, and Samrani did well to put away Papali. Yes, and just but what a finish.
I know there's another reason that Todd Payten be peeved as well. He's coaching for his future. So
is he still though, Danny?
Yeah, well,
he's running his contract out. Seeing it out.
Like you'd think,
but has that pressure valve been released a little bit on him? The fact that they're starting to win games.
Well, no, but he still hasn't been given a deal. And
but I'm talking about more so the noise around what we were hearing last year.
I get that, but given that he's done what he's done, if they really wanted him,
they would have
just said, "Hey, we're locking you away now."
True.
And I think he's probably earned.
But who are they waiting for?
Don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. There's been whispers about talking to Brad Arthur and these sort of things, but he's done a pretty good job so far.
Yeah, well, he wasn't happy. Let's have a listen to Coach Todd Payten after the game.
We showed a lack of respect to our most capped player. I felt we showed a lack of respect to our captain with 8 minutes to go, trying to push passes when he's on one leg. Showed a lack of respect to the ball with 18 errors and got exactly what was coming. So, yeah.
Straight up and down.
Yeah. Well, I think there's a lot of reasons to be disappointed. Like, there's milestone games and then there's milestone games. Every milestone's important and special to an individual, 50 games, 100 games, 200, whatever. But when one of your teammates becomes the most capped player in the club's history, it's a big milestone. It doesn't get much bigger than that. So to have the lead with 8 minutes out, to understand that Dearden wasn't at his best. He was battling through that leg injury. And they got a lesson a few weeks ago against Manly. Remember, they were never in that game because they just turned over so much cheap possession. they'd improved since then, and to have as many errors as Peyton just mentioned, they really invited Parramatta to cause them some trouble. And listen, Parramatta still had to be good to come back. Like for a big period of that second half, it looked like the Cowboys were just cruising, and then all of a sudden they score that try. You can just see the energy lift in Parramatta when Samrani scored, and then Moses executes down the short side, goes to golden point. They have an opportunity to kick a field goal. He misses it, and they lose that error off the dropout, right? Because that field goal was touched. I think it was McKaylee who dropped that ball and put Parramatta into good field position. So they really did cost themselves in the end.
Yeah. You'd be happy with the Eels. They were consistent. Their errors were, at a low, which was good.
Defense was a little bit off still, I thought. A few too many missed tackles. They do have a lot of injuries, but they always stayed in touch, which was good. And and what I liked, they were taking the ball too long. They were digging deep into the line. Where previous weeks, I think, they've been happy to release the ball a little bit early, and defence was able to just slide on that quite easily. Last night, they actually took it to the line, deep in the line, and didn't mind copping a bit of a whack.
They've got a funny situation now, the Eels, with Pezzett playing reserve grade and Volkman. I thought Volkman played well last night. A couple of line breaks. He didn't quite ice a few of those, but you get the win and you sort of go, well, he's got the experience of that now. He can go back to training and work on it. Next time he's in that situation, he might be able to handle it better. And sort of with the knowing that Pezzett is going to the Broncos, do you go, well, Volkman's he's holding his gloves up here. Let's just give him a little bit more time.
Well, we saw what happened with Dylan Brown last year. Remember when he wasn't going to be at the club, and now they've signed Pezzett to be this stopgap sort of player, and it was praised as a signing, wasn't it? When everyone thought, oh, it's a unique way of doing it. 1 year, then moving on to the Broncos. So yeah, it's a situation that Riles has shown his form in that area before, hasn't he? He's coaching for the future, and Pezzett has been he's had some injury and stuff, and he was okay. He was okay for them, but I think Volkman's really lifted a lot, and he's got electricity when he runs, and he's not afraid to take on the line. And
he's definitely a live wire, and I kind of get what Rilesy's done because you got to coach for your future, and obviously Pez he's heading north to the Broncos next year, so why not put your money and your time and your effort into someone that's going to be hanging around a bit longer? So I don't mind the decision. I really don't. I think it's pretty satisfactory decision from Riles. I don't even think I just think it's a smart thing to do. It's not really gutsy because you got a bloke there who's turned up on a 1 year deal. Yes, I think I was a bit excited for the Eels for this year. Things haven't gone that way for them. Are they going to play finals, touch and go? Are they going to go on and win the grand final the way they're playing? No, they're not. Realistically, they won't. So let's concentrate on getting better. Why are you laughing, Wade? What? Because you would never say that, would you?
No. I like the way that you say it. I just had flashbacks to Shane Flanagan at the start of the year.
That's what I did. I thought about when I was saying it too.
I was like, it's okay for you to say it. Like, realistically, no. Like everyone else can say it, but the head coach says it.
I said it.
Probably a bad starting point.
But in Vegas, remember we said, what did I say in Vegas? I said, I don't mind Flano saying that. Well, Flano's no longer working for the Dragons, so.
Is he back at Fox yet?
He will be. Apparently, he's going to be there.
Well, I hope so. Then I don't have to do Sunday ticket or Saturday Scrum.
Just get Luke Keary to do it.
He's been
doing plenty.
How come Keary's not here today?
Hardest working man in showbiz. He's hosting a current affair this week.
He's not a twin, is he? Or a triplet or anything like that?
I've never had to work so hard because he keeps bailing on shifts here and I have to turn up.
I think I saw him on Home and Away this week.
Saw him in the diner.
Playing halfback for South this week too.